All right, this is section 3.3, equations. Tonight's homework is page 737, sorry, 743. You're going to do numbers 1 through 10. You also need to be working on your review assignment. I want to remind you that you have a quiz on Friday. And also on Friday is the retake for factoring. That's all on Friday. And I remind you that you have a surprise, one last factoring exam before the end of the month. I will not tell you what day that is. It could be tomorrow, or it could be the last day of May. You need to be ready. This last factoring exam, it is not retakeable. Whatever you get is what you get. Okay, at this point, all the factoring that we've been over, this is it. This is your last chance to make sure that we've got this down. So make sure that you're studying as you go. All right, we're going to be solving equations, but first I need to give you a definition. And the definition is of the change of base formula. So some of you guys were taking your quiz last week, or the week before, sorry. And you would get something like log base 4 of 22. And I remember somebody distinctly asking me, Mr. Riad, how are you supposed to do this base 4? My calculator doesn't have this little small base. And then we did learn that we had to carry the 4 and do the exponent in the whole nine yards. But the change of base formula also tells me that if you want to know what the log base 4 of 22 is, you could also just take the log of 22 and divide that by the log of 4. Notice that the big number goes on top. See this 22? Has to be on top. Canal. And then this 4, the smaller one, goes on the bottom. Does it have to be that way? Yeah, that's the only way it's going to work. So if you want to know what the log base 4 of 22 is, all you have to do is divide log of 22 by log of 4. So if I want to know what the log base 4 of 22 is, please put that in your calculator. Since you do not have this feature on your calculator, most of you do not have this feature where you can insert a little base b. Andrew, come up here because you can't see it. Come up here. Then you're going to divide log of 22, divide by the log of 4. And Jeremy, what do you get when you do that? 2.23. What is the point of a log again? Solve for the exponent. How can I check if this is right? Yeah, let's do it. What is 4 to the 2.23? Is it about 22? Don't be like my kids from last year who freaked out if it wasn't exactly 22. If it's about 22, then you're chilling. You're good. So the way you can check it is, again, piggyback. 4 to the 2.23, does that equal 22? Does 4 to the 2.23 equal 22? That's how you can check if you're right. We're going to need this to solve for actual exponential equations using the change of base formula. All right, here we go. Example 1. Andrew, can you say anything? Just watch the video, please. Okay? let's say I have 6 to the x minus 3 equals 21. Where is the variable? In the exponent. How do you solve for an exponent? What's the purpose of a log again? To solve for the exponent. So if I have a variable in my exponent, I'm going to need logs. The fact that half of you answered that is scaring me. What's the purpose of a log? To solve for the exponent. Where is the variable? In the exponent. So I'm going to need a log. Okay? Peter, move all the way up, please. Mina, are you with me? So I have to take the log of both sides. Okay? The way I solve for an exponent is by taking the log. What do you mean by take the log, Ms. Riad? Okay, watch what we're going to do. I'm going to take the log base 6 of both sides. Because the log base 6 of 6 is going to get rid of this whole thing, and you're just going to be left with x minus 3. This exponent, this base right here, which is 6, has to match that base right there. The only way to get rid of that 6 is to take a log base 6. So if this was a 4, you would do log base 4. If this was a 90, you would do log base 90. These two have to be the same. So look what we're doing, you guys. This is the same thing as log base 6 of 6 to the x minus 3. That's what we're doing. And what do we do again if there's an exponent here? What does exponent yield? What do you do with it? Move it as a coefficient. Very good. So we're going to take this x minus 3. It's now a coefficient times the log base 6 of 6. Don't let me lose you here. Look, all I did was take the log 6 of both sides. That means it's the log base 6 of 6 to the x minus 3. What is the power yield again? The coefficient. Everybody with me? All right, now just pay attention to this part right here. What is the log base 6 of 6? I heard one person answer, but I want you to think about it. What's the purpose of a log again? Solve for the exponent. So 6 to the what gives me 6? 1. 8 to the what would give me 8? 20 to the... Do you guys see why these have to be the same now? Because what's going to happen when you have log base same? What's it going to equal every time? 1. Everybody see that? So this whole thing becomes a 1. So what are you left with? Very good. You're left with x minus 3 equals log base 6 of 21. Who did I lose there? What do you guys think? Pretty easy? All right, we just did this. Change of base theorem. Which one do I have to put on top again? The 21. So now I'm going to let the calculator do all the work. In fact, I'm going to change that equal sign to approximately because I'm going to start abbreviating. Approximately. Because the log base 6 of 21 is the same thing as the log of 21 over the log of 6. Renee, what do you get when you put in the log of 21 over the log of 6? What'd you get, baby? 1 point? 1 second. Let me answer. No, tell me. Is it about the graph paper? What's up? 1.69. Am I done? Do I want x or do I want x minus 3? I want x minus 3? What was the point of the login? To solve for the exponent. All right, I got the exponent isolated. Now I can solve for x? Please do not stop here. I want the variable. So let's add 3. So x is equal to, or approximately, 4.69. Oh my gosh, how do I check my answer? Do I just like, oh my god, I hope I'm right? What do I do with this? Plug it back into the original equation. Are we going to freak out if it's not exactly 21? Right? Don't be like last year. A lot of my freshmen were like, oh my god, I got it wrong. Please take this 4.69, plug it in, and tell me what you get. Let's go on this side.
Okay.
Thank you, James.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to her. Where is she now?
I think Jessica's talking to her.
Okay. All right, what do you guys think? Are you guys burnt out from testing, or are we okay? You guys test today or no? I'm sorry. I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. Do you feel like it's okay? So far, so good? I think you'll feel better after another example. Let's see. Ready? Example 2. (11 to the x plus 9 equals 62. How do I solve for an exponent? What do I going to need to use? Log. So what should I do? Log base what? It has to be base 11. Why? We want that 1-1 situation to happen, right? Very good. So I want the log base 11 of both sides. You're going to get to the point where you're not going to need to write it all out. You're going to know that this says, okay, log base 11 of 11 to the x plus 9. Oh, yeah, I'm going to need to drop that. Oh, log base 11 of 11 goes away. I'm just left with x plus 9. I'm hoping you get to the point where you could just do this and go straight to this. Everybody see that? Yay? What's on the right-hand side, though? Log base 11 of 62. Can you do that? How do you do that? Approximately log of 62 over log of 11. This becomes x plus 9. Sean, can you tell me what the log of 62 divided by the log of 11, what that is? A little louder, honey, sorry. Everybody get that?
Yep.
So subtract 9. What is that? Here's your doyo. Check with your neighbors, please. Emma, what you got? What'd you got? 0.9? Is that what you got? Everybody get 0.9? Yep. Sam, check with people around you. Make sure they're good. Mina, you good? let's take it up one notch. What if the base with the exponent is not isolated? What if there's all this action around it first? First you simplify, very good. Then you do the log of both sides. You're not allowed to take the log of both sides if there's all this crap around it. What do you mean by that, Ms. Riad? Well, let me show you. This is an example of where you have to simplify first and then you would log both sides. Example 3. Let's say we have 2 to the 5x minus 3 plus 4 equals 12. You notice that the base with the exponent is not isolated. That's a problem. Pass me my drink, Anna, please. So, do I rate it as 2 first or the 4? Whoa. Please excuse my Dan Sally backwards. Which one do I get rid of first? The 4 or that 2? Backwards. It's PEMDAS backwards. SADMEP. You guys, let's go over it. 2x plus 4 equals 8. Did you get rid of the 4 first or the 2? The 4. Same thing here. 4 and a 2. So you treat this whole thing as a variable. Everybody with me? So it's just like the same thing you would do here. Pretend this is an entire x, like a whole box. First you get rid of the 4, then you divide by 2. Same thing here. Get rid of the 4, divide by 2. Questions on that? All right, so we are going to subtract 4 first. So I get 2, and then 5x minus 3 equaling 8. Mr. Riad, how come you put that in parentheses? I'm trying to show you that this is one unit. This is the box. Now am I ready to take the log of both sides? No, I have to divide by 2. So now I have 5 to the x minus 3 equals 4. Now can I log both sides? Why? The base is isolated. Log base what? 5. Very good. So I'm going to take the log base 5 of both sides. What's going to happen when I take log base 5 of 5 to the x minus 3? What's going to happen? I'm just left with 1, and then what am I left with? Just x minus 3. The purpose of a log is to solve for the exponent. I know I'm going to be left with that exponent. And then here I have log base 5 of 4. How do I find out what the log base 5 of 4 is? Divide. Approximately, what goes on top? What has to go on top? Whoa. This number has to go first, which is? Okay, I think I did say bigger number, huh?
Yeah.
I meant bigger, like the big base, not the little base. I meant the argument. My fault. I meant like the bigger as in visually bigger. Sorry. Not the bigger as in value. Log of 4 divided by the log of 5. And then I'm going to add 3 when I'm done. Noah, what'd you get, babe? What's log base 4 of 5, log of 5? Log of 4 divided by log of 5 and then add 3.
Approximately
3.86? I'm not doubting you. I just can't hear you. 3.86? Okay. Everybody get that? So if there's action happening all around, I can't log yet until I clear that up first. Let's try another one and then I'll give you another doyo. Example 4. Mina, am I going too fast? Are we okay? 11 times 2/5 to the 5x equals 222. Ew. Is the base isolated? Mm-mm. What do you need to do? Divide by 11. So you get 2/5 to the 5x equals 20.2? Is that approximate or exact?
Approximate.
Now is the base isolated? Okay, so what do I do to both sides? Log of what? What base? 2/5. Even though it's a fraction, it's the same thing. Log 2/5. So what do you get when you take the log of 2/5 of 2/5 of 5x? What are you left with? What's the only thing left over? Just 5x. You see why? And then on this side, it says log base 2/5 of 20.2. How do you do this? Which number goes on top?
20.2.
Okay, so tell me what the log of 20.2 over the log of 2/5 is. This is where some of you guys start watching other people do it and you just put in the answer and then the test comes and you're like, how do I put this in the calculator? And I can't answer that for you. This is the time to learn your calculator. Put this in your calculator. And make sure we all get the same thing. Check with your neighbor. I don't want to move on until you put in the calculator right. To make sure you get everybody get the same thing here. Just this part, just this part. Cooey, what'd you get? After you divide by 5 or before? What'd you get before? -3 what? Everybody get that? So x is approximately -0.65. You just pray and go to church and hope you're right. What can you do? You can go to church too, yes, but I'm saying you can plug it back in and be sure tonight. What do you guys think? Is this doable? I want to give you guys a doyo. Show me that you can do this without me. I'll make it hard. You're not scared. What you mean? -8 times 3 to the 2x plus 1 minus 2 equals -73. Are you scared? Just in case you can't see it, this, you need to isolate that first. -73, yeah. Check with your neighbors, please. Angie, you guys got it? You and Juju got it both right? 0.6? I mean 0.5? Sam, what'd you do first? Added 2 and then divided by -8? So what'd you get? 3 to the 2x plus 1 equals what? Positive, right?
Yeah.
Caitlin, what do you do from here? Take your time. What did you do from here, babe? Good. Log base what of each side? I didn't hear you. Yeah, but what's your little base? Log, what's down here? Yeah, very good. So log base 3 of both sides. Priscilla, what do you get after that? Yeah, but what do you get left over here? Say that again, honey. Priscilla, what is the log base 3 of 2x plus 1? What's left over? Huh? What's left over, babe? Yeah, the exponent, which is 2x plus 1. So the left-hand side is 2x plus 1, and then log base 3 of 8.88. Panal, now what? Wait, what goes on top? And then from here, it's all algebra. You should have gotten x is approximately 0.5, 0.49. Raise your hand if you got that right. Nicely done. All right. We're just going to do one more example, and then you guys can start tonight's homework. Four 2/3 3x minus 4 plus 5 all over 8 equals 92. I'm really excited that you're not scared of this because you recognize you just need to isolate this. Who's got to go first? 8. So let's do it. Ready? Multiply both sides by 8 and then subtract 5 and then, can you do that for me, please? If you're watching this video and you just got lost on this part, this is the part you need to ask and get help in Our Power. This part right here is Algebra 1. John, what do you get when you take 92 times 8 minus 5 times 4? Divided by 4, sorry. Are you in agreement, guys? Yes. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Oscar, now what? Very good. Log base 2/3 on both sides. And from now, it should feel a little repetitive. Does it?
Yep.
Good. Sometimes repetitive is good. You're like, oh, I recognize this. I know how to go from here. Finish off the problem and check with your neighbor and tell me what you get. Check with your neighbor, please. If you're done, write a summary, please. Nina, what'd you get, babe? See if he needs help. If you're done, write your summary, please. Today I learned. Who got negative 2.95 or negative 3? Nicely done.